Hello everyone, it's Keira and welcome back to my channel. So it's finally that time again where I'm sitting down and filming my FIA F3 predictions for the 2021 season. I done this video last year for the 2020 season. I actually can't believe I've been doing motorsport YouTube for that long, but I have, and I'm on to my second year of doing predictions for F3. As you know, F3 is so unpredictable and it's such a difficult series to predict, but I always give my task every single year to do it, and that is exactly what I'm doing today. So if you do enjoy the video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. But I think we should just get into it. Okay, so the season actually kicks off next weekend for you guys. It kicks off at the Spanish Grand Prix weekend, so I'm doing these about a week early just so I can get them out there so you guys can really get a feel for it, you know, build up to the weekend and that. Hopefully it'll be good. And first I'm going to predict my rookie of the year. Now we have got a fair few rookies in the FIA F3 grid this year. It is such a different grid to what we had last year. You know, sometimes they stay the same, like sometimes F2 stays the same a little bit, but this year FIA F3 is so different, so this is very difficult. But I'm going to predict my rookie of the year as Archer Leclerc. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm being basic, but I just don't know who else I could really put up there. You know, his two teammates in Dennis Hauger and Ollie Caldwell are not rookies, and I kind of just still feel like the Prema dominancy is going to remain in FIA F3 this year. And Archer done really well in Formula Regional last year. He just lost out to Jean-Luc Petkov, who is now in F2. So I think Archer is going to bring the momentum from last year into this year. You know, he had a really storming campaign last year and he done loads of good races. So I'm probably going to say Archer Leclerc. I mean, it's so difficult, but if I'm going to go rookie of the year, I'm going to say him. Now, next is who do I believe is the most improved team from last year? Now, FIA F3 have 30 drivers. If you are not aware, each team has 3 drivers, and a lot of them just don't get any points. Like, a lot of them are just running within that 20 to 30. You don't even see them on the timing graphic. They just are not there. So there were quite a few teams actually that were on the struggle bus last year. But there's some teams that I could, maybe sometimes I think maybe Carlin could step up, or maybe Campos could do better, but I am going to say MP Motorsport. They had quite a rough time last year. They were in a lot of accidents they probably didn't need to be, but this year I feel like they have got good momentum going into the season. They've got some good drivers on board. They've got 2 Alpine juniors in their lineup, so I just think it's going to be good. I don't know, I just feel like they've got some good momentum, and with 3 good drivers I would like to think it's going to push them forward a little bit, so I'm going to say them as the most improved team. Now next is who do I believe is going to get the most podiums? Now again, this is very difficult, but I'm probably going to say the high-tech and Red Bull Junior of Jack Crawford. Now Jack is only 16 years old and he is, you know, a very big talent. He had the massive battle with Johnny Edgar last year in ADAC F4, so I'm just really excited to see how he's going to go, and I just feel like he's such a strong driver. He's such like a, I don't know how to call it, like a fierce driver. He's got a lot of power behind his driving, so I just feel like he's just going to get up there a lot. Again, I don't know how the high-tech is going to perform, but I feel like if anybody is going to perform well in the high-tech, it is going to be Jack. So I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to say Jack Crawford for the most podiums. Now the next one is who is going to be the new Alessio Deledda. Now we know that Alessio has moved up with HWA to F2 this year. How? Money. So we need someone to replace him. You know, we need somebody to be that Deledda. If you don't know Alessio Deledda and you don't know what he done last year, he was just a crashing machine, whether that was into somebody else, whether that was into the barriers, whether that was into nothing. Alessio Deledda really caused a bit of a scene, and you know, he kind of was the new Rangulathan of F3, so we need a new one this year. And I've had a look at, you know, the drivers, seeing who's about, seeing who I think I could pick, and the person that completely stands out is Cordeal. Now Cordeal was actually caught speeding at 300 kph on a motorway in his home country, and it was sent to the police. I don't know whether, you know, he got fined for it, I don't know if he actually got done for it or whatever. So just looking at that and then looking at what Alessio Deledda does on the motorway, they add up. They both do the same thing in speeding way too fast when they shouldn't be. So I'm not saying Cordeal is going to be bad. Like, he may just completely change, and he may not be that driver that he is on the motorway. He may be a completely different driver on the racetrack, but if he's going that fast on the motorway, I would like to think he could go that fast on the racetrack, but I'm just not too sure, because the type of people that do that, they aren't the best. So I'm going to say Amaury Cordeal for that. If I'm wrong, then sorry, but I kind of feel like it could be him. Now the next one is going to be the biggest overperformer. So that's kind of the people that I think are going to really overperform from what people have kind of first thinking of when they go into the season. Now, I'm actually going to say the whole Trident package as a whole. I feel like all three of the drivers are really going to do something, but I think especially Jack Doohan. He is a Red Bull backed junior, and he is just, I think he's got a lot of redemption that he needs to do this year. He came in as a strong favourite last year into FIA F3, but kind of didn't deliver, was in a lot of mistakes, and was at the back of the grid a lot more than I feel like he should have been. So stepping up to one of the top teams in FIA F3 this year, I think it's going to do really well for him, and I feel like he can finally show what we kind of know he's got, but we've never seen. So I'm going to say Jack Doohan is going to be someone that's definitely going to overperform and really going to show what he's worth. We also have Clement Novalak in the team, who done really well last year in the Carlin. You know, the other people that were in the Carlin last year just couldn't quite get to grips with the car, and they weren't getting the points, and they were having a lot of driver swaps last year, but Clem was the only one that consistently done really, really well, and that is obviously why he has been able to step up to Trident this year. If you didn't know Trident, obviously I don't know how many people that are watching this video don't know about FIA F3, but Trident was one of the highest teams last year. They came out the bag straight away really strong, so it is one of the top teams in F3. So yeah, Clem Novalak, I think he's a very strong driver. He surprised everyone, including myself, last year, so he's definitely going to be one to watch. And again, it's not a name that everybody knows, but it's a name that people should definitely get used to. And David Schumacher is the final driver for Trident. David Schumacher was somebody that didn't have the best time last year, and probably didn't do what people expected him to do, because I think they just look at the name. But David is a good driver, and he just didn't quite show it last year. First, he was in the Campos, which, as we know, was just absolutely awful last year, and then he moved over to the Carlin, I think it was like September time, but again, that didn't quite work out. I mean, it edged him up a little bit, but not quite. So he actually had quite a poor performance last year. So I think overall they're gonna really overperform, and I think that they are just gonna have a great year, and they could even, you know, challenge Prema. And the next one is quite simply, how many driver changes will we see? Now, we know that in F3 and in F2 and mostly in feeder series, you know, apart from Red Bull and F1, but we won't talk about that, we do see a lot of driver changes within the mid-season. So whether that is right at the start, whether that is in like the middle silly season bit, we see loads of driver changes, whether through lack of performance, whether through lack of funds, because obviously they do fund their own races in the year. We see a lot of changes. So how many I think we're going to get? Now, we got quite a few last year, but I don't know how many we got last year, but I know that there was quite a few. But I'm going to say like 4 or 5 this year. I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit less. From the top of my head, I feel like it was definitely more last year, but I'm going to say 4 or 5. I just hope there's not too many. But again, I don't know who's going to come up, who's going to come back down, whether we're going to need somebody else to come in. I don't know what's going to happen, but probably 4 or 5. Okay, so now I'm coming on to the stage where I am predicting the championship. This is difficult. This is always very difficult. And last year, I think I got it quite wrong. But I'm going to try again this year. And first, I'm going to talk about the constructors. Now, in third place for the constructors, I have said High-Tech. I have put a lot of faith in High-Tech this year. I think they've got some great young rookie drivers coming in. They have got new Red Bull Junior Iwasa. So I think that's going to be a really good lineup. It's going to be very solid. Again, very young. All of them are very young. But I feel like they could come third. In second, I have actually said Prema Racing. Now, very controversial, I know, but I just feel like Archie Leclerc is going to do very well, but I don't know about Ollie Caldwell and Dennis Hauger. I don't know what it is, but like neither of them wow me. Like when I've seen them racing, neither of them really, really wow me, and I was actually quite surprised to see Ollie re-signed for Prema, but he did regardless, and I'm still, you know, very excited to see what he does, but I'm just not sure whether they're going to perform the way that they need to in terms of getting the points, but I may be wrong. And in first place, I have said the team that I've just been completely bragging about and boasting about, and that is Trident. As I said, I think they've got 3 amazing drivers, and I just feel like that is going to be something that you need to get this Constructors' Championship against Prema. It's so difficult to beat Prema. They won everything they competed in last year, but if anyone's going to do it, I think it's going to be Trident. Okay, so my top 3 drivers now. I'm so worried to do this. Okay, so in third place, I have said Clement Novalak. As I said earlier, I feel like he has a lot of momentum from his positive season last year, and I feel like he could get third. But again, I feel like it's either going to be a Trident or a Prema. I was very close to saying Dennis Hauger, but I have actually said Clement Novalak for P3. I feel like this whole video is just a Trident video. I apologise, it's not meant to be, but yeah, I just feel like Clem is going to have a very good season, going to be very solid. He's going to get a lot of wins and podiums out of that car, and is overall going to have a good season. In second place, I've said Jack Doohan. Like I said earlier, he's got a lot to prove this year. He came in very hot last year and just didn't perform. He wasn't in a great car, so this year he is in one of the top cars, so he has no excuse. So I think if anybody is going to be up there, I definitely think it's going to be Jack. And to win the championship and to be F3 Rookie of the Year, as I said at the start, is Archer Leclerc. You know, I feel like, again, as much as I've said Trident are going to do better than Prema, I just feel like Archer is still going to do really well, and the Prema is still going to be really good. Like, the Prema is not just going to drop off like, you know, maybe people might think. The Prema is never going to drop off, and I feel like Archer is just going to absolutely blow out the walls for everybody. Like, I'm really not sure whether Archer and Jack are going to be that close. Obviously it's going to be close, like it's F3, but I don't know how close it is going to be. But I feel like Archer is definitely going to beat him, and he's definitely going to win and then go up into F2 and follow the footsteps of his brother Charles Leclerc. So there we have it. That is it for today's video, and those are my FIA F3 predictions. I will come back to this video at the end of the season. I will react to it and I will see what I have said and see how wrong or how right I was. I've absolutely loved filming this video, as I do every time. If you haven't watched FIA F3 yet, or if you are planning to get into it this year, I hope you enjoy it so much, and I really hope that you come along on the journey with me. If you follow me on all my social medias, I will be talking about F3 all the time, so don't you worry about it. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I don't know if I said that, but like and sub, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.